Queen Camilla is sharing the secret to her and King Charles III's 20-year marriage. Camilla and Charles's relationship has always been surrounded by controversy, but this time the drama is inside their marriage and may tear them apart. Reports suggest that King Charles has reached a boiling point with Queen Camilla. King Charles, who has always stood by Camilla, has reportedly asked for his ring back, leaving her in shock. Is this a sign of trouble in the royal home? Join us as we uncover the truth. The royal engagement ring. In 2005, when Camilla married Charles, the ring he gave her held great significance. Beyond being a piece of jewelry, it symbolized history, legacy, and power. The engagement ring he selected was not a new one, but instead had a rich royal background. This choice reflected the seriousness of their union and what it signified for Camilla entering the royal family. The ring is a stunning piece, with a big square-shaped diamond at the center and 3 smaller diamond baguettes on each side. It has a classic appeal. The ring previously belonged to Queen Mother, who was the beloved grandmother of King Charles. She wore it for a long time and valued it greatly. Presenting it to Camilla was more than just a romantic act. It symbolized acceptance and trust. It subtly connected Camilla to the rich history of the royal family. Instead of having a custom-made royal engagement ring, like many others, Charles chose one with existing personal significance in his family. The ring was given to Camilla privately, without any flashy announcements. It symbolized the deep connection between them, rather than a public display. When Camilla wore the ring, it spoke volumes without her having to say anything. It signified her entry into the royal family, with respect and acknowledgement of her long-standing relationship with Charles before their official marriage. Over time, the ring became a symbol of her increasing importance and self-assurance. It shone on her hand at significant state functions, royal visits, and family get-togethers. Whenever it was spotted, it served as a reminder of her progress, from facing harsh criticism from the media to standing by the king as his selected companion. Camilla saw the ring as more than just a piece of jewelry with diamonds. To her, it symbolized history and trust from the royal family. It also signified her entry into a role that only a select few women will experience. Being a queen, what could have gone wrong to make Charles demand his ring back from Camilla? Royal tensions rise. Camilla's past stirring storms. In recent reports, it has been emphasized that Queen Camilla has been standing by King Charles III as he recovers from a cancer diagnosis. The information was first reported by Elle Debit and focused on Camilla's strong support for the king during this challenging period. Official royal statements indicate that the king has been very grateful for her support as he undergoes treatment and slowly resumes his public responsibilities. Camilla and Charles started dating in the early 1970s, before they got married in 2005. However, their relationship was controversial. Both Camilla and Charles were already married to other people at the time. Camilla to Brigadier Andrew Parker Bowles, and Charles to Princess Diana. They continued their romantic relationship while still married, which received a lot of criticism, especially in the 1990s, after Diana spoke about the affair publicly. Despite facing a lot of criticism and negative attention from the public, including after Princess Diana's death in 1997, Camilla continued to stay connected to Charles. As time went on, people's opinions about her started to change. When Andrew Parker Bowles attended King Charles's coronation in 2023, it caught people's interest, but many saw it as a display of respect and maturity, rather than a sign of a continued close relationship. Despite having 2 children together, the former couple have maintained a friendly relationship for family events. Recently, British media has been looking again at Camilla's relationship with her ex-husband. Some gossip reports suggest that her friendly relationship with Andrew Parker Bowles could be causing problems within the palace. There are sources claiming that King Charles is not happy when Camilla and Andrew talk. But these claims have not been confirmed. These rumors are being spread in gossip columns, but it's best to be careful about believing them. An ex-palace employee implied that Prince Charles, who is usually seen as patient and calm, may feel some internal tension due to unresolved emotions about Camilla's past. However, there is no evidence from reliable sources that any significant conflict has arisen. Some people see these reports as possible trouble ahead, but others think it's just the media making a big deal out of the royal family's relationships at the moment. There is no solid proof that the king and queen are having any problems in their marriage, even though there is often drama within the royal family that the public pays close attention to. It is evident that Camilla is dedicated to fulfilling her responsibilities as queen consort to King Charles III. However, these aren't the only issues that Camilla and Charles have in their relationship. The issues did not arise overnight. They began as minor concerns just before Charles and Camilla's marriage. A gentle journey. Camilla's hesitation and Charles's frustration. After Charles and Diana's marriage ended tragically, and especially after Diana died suddenly in 1997, the royal family had to deal with a delicate situation. Prince Charles had been in love with Camilla Parker Bowles for many years. But now that he was no longer married to Diana, he reportedly wanted to fully bring Camilla into his life, both personally and publicly. However, the situation was complicated. Charles wanted to move forward fast, but Camilla was hesitant. She was cautious and fully aware of the implications of marrying into the royal family. Camilla was hesitant to take on a more public role, not because she did not love Charles, but because she feared causing upset among the public, who still adored Princess Diana. She did not want to replace Diana or be compared to her, as she knew how much the late princess meant to the nation. Furthermore, Camilla never desired fame. While some people who marry into royalty crave prestigious titles and widespread recognition, she preferred a low-key existence, surrounded by close friends, familiar surroundings, and peaceful routines. The prospect of constant media attention, news coverage, and numerous public appearances was daunting to her. She did not feel confident in dealing with such intense scrutiny. Camilla was afraid of making errors, being misunderstood, or becoming the target of harsh criticism. Therefore, despite Charles's readiness to marry her and present her as his companion, Camilla hesitated in the palace. Moving around was slow and sometimes tense. Charles was getting impatient because he had been waiting a long time to openly be with Camilla. He hoped that by being open about their relationship, the public would eventually accept her. Charles wanted to take Camilla to more royal events, appear in public together, and gradually integrate her into his official life. However, Camilla was cautious and always thinking ahead. She did not want to cause any controversy or rush into anything that needed careful handling. They had different opinions about the future ahead. Charles wanted to change how people saw their relationship. He thought that if Camilla had the right support, she could earn the public's respect. He wanted her to be seen as his companion, not just a replacement. He was willing to deal with any criticism that came their way to improve their public image. On the other hand, Camilla believed their relationship should develop quietly, away from public scrutiny. She cared more about people's emotions and less about getting attention in the media. This difference in views caused disagreements, not in their love for each other, but in how they approached their public image. Even within the royal family, there was a time of not being sure about what to do. Some family members were unsure how to move forward, especially with the memory of Princess Diana still fresh in people's minds. Camilla was not immediately embraced by everyone. There was a feeling that time was necessary, not only for the public, but also for the family itself. Camilla did not resist. She respected the process and allowed things to unfold gradually. Her patience as time passed helped to soften perspectives. She wasn't trying to change everything, She simply wanted to be part of Charles's life, in a way that did not cause harm. Ultimately, small actions led to major progress. Camilla started making cautious appearances in public, usually in relaxed environments. Her kind demeanor and genuine attitude gradually started to alter people's perceptions of her. She did not attempt to impress anyone with extravagant displays or big speeches. Instead, she just showed up, smiled, and remained authentic. People started to realize that she was genuine and not trying to imitate anyone else. She did not aim to take Diana's place or erase history. She was just there to quietly and consistently support Charles. Charles became less frustrated and began to see why Camilla was being cautious, realizing that her actions were motivated by love and wisdom. He learned that she wasn't holding back because she did not care, but because she understood the sensitivity of the situation. Eventually, Charles came to understand that her slower approach was the best way forward, as it allowed for healing and improved communication among people. Their journey as a couple was not quick or full of excitement. It was peaceful, considerate, and full of love. Even though Charles initially wanted things to progress more quickly, he came to value the steady presence that Camilla brought to their relationship. Over time, Camilla also became more at ease with being in the public spotlight, not because she changed herself, but because people had the chance to see her for who she truly is. However, Camilla and Charles's marriage is far from the fairy tale many imagine. It involves something much deeper. Inside Charles and Camilla's life after marriage, when Prince Charles and Camilla Parker Bowles got married in 2005, it was a significant moment in royal history. After tying the knot in 2005, the Queen Consort is sharing what has kept their marriage, which was Charles's second. Their path to marriage was filled with public attention, personal struggles, and waiting. After they said "I do," they faced new challenges. As a royal couple, their love stayed strong, but being married to royalty brought its difficulties. These were not dramatic or scandalous problems, but the usual issues that arise when two individuals with unique personalities and habits share a life in the public eye. Charles, who is now king, has always been recognized for his strong sense of responsibility. Even before becoming king, he was heavily involved in serving the public, managing numerous engagements each week. He is known for his organized thinking, always having plans and ideas in mind. Past employees have said that he works best when operating on a tight schedule, making the most out of every minute. His daily routine usually consists of meetings, giving speeches, and traveling, and he tackles each task with great focus. His dedication to various causes, such as the environment, traditional architecture, and alternative health, kept him busy with an already full schedule. Camilla had a different pace compared to Charles. She admired Charles's dedication to work, but liked to live a more laid-back life. Even though she carried out her royal responsibilities dutifully, she cherished her personal time, taking leisurely walks with her dogs, reading, and being with loved ones were priorities for her. She did not rush around or pack her schedule with public events. She believed in taking things easy and making time for relaxation and equilibrium. The variances in their preferences occasionally caused minor conflicts. People close to the palace mentioned that it was common for them to disagree on schedules. Charles often wanted to include additional visits or meetings during a tour, whereas Camilla preferred a more manageable pace. Planning travels became complicated when one preferred a set plan and the other wanted flexibility. There were times when their schedules did not match up perfectly, leading to the need for compromises. Even though they both remained dedicated to their royal duties, their approaches to those duties weren't always identical. Another area where their personalities sometimes clashed was Charles's strong dedication to certain interests. He has been a longtime advocate for environmental causes, organic agriculture, and sustainable lifestyles. He also holds firm beliefs in homeopathy, and other unconventional treatments, which he thinks should have more prominence in healthcare. His passion for these subjects often came through in discussions, gatherings, and even casual dinner conversations. To him, these topics were not simply interests. They were significant issues that mattered deeply. Camilla appreciated his dedication, but sometimes she found it comical. She did not have the same level of enthusiasm for all his interests. When Charles would get into in-depth discussions about soil health or urban planning, she would often smile or make a light-hearted comment. This wasn't to poke fun at him, but just her way of keeping things upbeat. However, there were moments when these interactions caused brief tension. She respected his passion, but she did not always feel the need to discuss these topics constantly. According to insiders, she would occasionally sigh or roll her eyes when Charles talked too much, but it was always done playfully and lovingly. In private, just like any other couple, they had occasional disagreements. These disagreements were not intense or harmful, but they showed that they were both strong individuals trying to figure out life together. They had quiet arguments about how to handle family issues, especially when it came to sensitive topics, like Charles's relationship with his younger son, Prince Harry, or the complicated role of Prince Andrew in royal matters. Camilla, who is known for being calm and level-headed, would sometimes give Charles advice that he did not necessarily want to hear. These were personal conversations that indicated their marriage, like any other, had its moments of conflict. Biographers and close family members say that these small arguments were normal and healthy. They did not show any serious issues, just two people handling everyday problems. Their relationship was based on many years of mutual understanding. Even when they disagreed, they still respected and cared for each other. Camilla's funny jokes lightened the tension, and as Charles got older, he became more patient and could let go of small annoyances. Their marriage thrived not because they were perfect, but because they accepted each other for who they were. Charles understood that Camilla valued alone time, while Camilla recognized that Charles desired order and direction in his life. They stood by each other, even when they had differing opinions. As time passed, they figured out how to adapt, give in a little, and maintain harmony. Their connection was not based on putting on a show for others, but on the intimate connection that strengthened over the years. Even though they were not similar, they found happiness in spending time together. They bonded over small, ordinary moments, like laughing together during breakfast, going for walks in the countryside, or just relaxing with family at home. These simple scenes revealed a couple who had overcome many challenges and were now content, redefining the role of queen consort. Since Charles became king, Camilla has embraced her role as queen consort with grace and dedication. She displays a deep understanding of royal responsibilities while transitioning smoothly into this position. Camilla officially became queen consort on September 8, 2022, when her husband, Charles III, became king after the death of Elizabeth II. She witnessed Charles being declared king at the Accession Council on September 10, alongside her stepson William. After joining the royal family, Camilla announced she would be creating a new role, called the Queen's Companion. Instead of the usual lady-in-waiting position, this new role would be less demanding and more laid-back, assisting her at public functions without managing correspondence or daily tasks. As the queen consort, her main duty is to support the king and fulfill her responsibilities. She has gracefully adapted to her new role and has become an important member of the royal family. Queen consort Camilla plays a crucial role in assisting King Charles with his royal duties, including attending state events, ceremonies, and official engagements. She often accompanies him to functions like state visit ceremonies and public celebrations. Her presence at these events is not just symbolic, as she actively participates and shows her commitment to the monarchy and her husband's leadership. Camilla is known for being calm and composed, providing stability alongside King Charles during important moments. In addition to her official duties, Camilla spends time on her personal interests and causes she supports literacy, women's health, and osteoporosis awareness, which are causes she has backed for a while. Camilla has been an advocate of the Royal Osteoporosis Society, raising awareness for the risks related to osteoporosis. Since '94 as the Queen Consort, she uses her position to promote causes she is passionate about and to help charities and organizations she supports. She is involved in these causes because she is personally interested, and it is an important part of her responsibilities as a royal, allowing her to make a positive difference in the lives of others. Camilla approaches her royal duties with a sense of duty and a desire to help the people. She is known for her down-to-earth personality and ability to connect with others, whether it is through her charity work or in public appearances. She often attends events to interact with the public, listen to their stories, and show support for community projects. Her genuine relationships with people have made her beloved by many. As Prince Charles became king, her relationships with other members of the royal family evolved. Camilla has a special bond with her husband's children, Prince William and Prince Harry. Despite the first tension, due to her past with their father, she has developed strong, supportive connections with both of them. She has always been there for them, providing kindness and support, while helping with family relationships. Her connection with Prince William has grown stronger, particularly since Charles became King. William has commended Camilla for her dedication to the royal family and her role as Queen Consort, acknowledging her important support for his father. In her new role, Camilla works closely with other members of the royal family, such as Queen Elizabeth's children Princess Anne, Prince Edward, and Princess Beatrice. But what could cause Charles and Camilla's separation? Keep watching to find out more. The quiet struggles behind Charles and Camilla's marriage. The marriage of King Charles III and Queen Camilla, which has been anticipated for a long time and strengthened over the years, is experiencing challenges that could potentially undermine their union if not handled carefully. While the public aspects of their relationship, such as their presence at royal events and shared duties, have received a lot of attention, there are more subtle problems that, if not sorted out, could result in emotional distance or even a breakdown in their marriage. One area where they may disagree is their opinions on royal duties. Charles has been preparing to be king his whole life and is focused on modernizing the monarchy. He expects the same dedication from those around him, especially Camilla, but Camilla has a more selective approach to her royal duties. As queen, she may feel overwhelmed by the number of obligations. While she handles her position gracefully, the constant pressure of public appearances may become too much. If Camilla starts to withdraw or reduce her duties, Charles could see it as lack of support, causing resentment. On the other hand, Camilla might feel the expectations on her are unrealistic, leading to dissatisfaction. Another problem that might cause them to grow apart is Charles's health. As he gets older, health issues are likely to arise, and there is a chance that Charles's health could worsen, making Camilla take on a bigger caregiver role. However, Camilla, who is already handling her responsibilities, could end up feeling emotionally and physically drained. If Charles gets sick and needs her by his side more often, Camilla might struggle with the added pressure, leading to feelings of inadequacy or resentment. In turn, Charles might feel like he lacks support during a challenging time in his life, creating more distance between them. The difference in their desire for public attention may lead to tension. Charles, the king, is expected to always be seen in public, while Camilla values her privacy. She enjoys time away from the spotlight and often goes to her private estates for relaxation. As her royal duties increase, she might want more privacy. However, Charles is now more visible to the public than ever, so he may interpret this as a lack of commitment to the monarchy. The tension between Camilla's desire for privacy and Charles's need to be seen could create a divide, with Charles feeling isolated in his role, and Camilla feeling overwhelmed by public expectations. Their different opinions about family dynamics could cause problems in their relationship. The ongoing conflicts between Charles and Prince Harry have been well documented, and although Camilla generally supports Charles, there have been disagreements about how to deal with the situation involving Harry if their views on family matters, especially concerning Harry, or the roles of other royal family members, start to differ. It could lead to arguments. Both of them have faced public criticism, but Charles's way of handling these pressures may not always match Camilla's point of view. This difference in dealing with sensitive family issues could create a sense of distance between them, weakening the trust and understanding that have been important in their relationship. Over time, the marriage could experience a gradual emotional distance. The stresses of royal life, along with their personal differences, may result in them spending more time apart. Charles might focus more on his responsibilities, spending more time at Buckingham Palace or Highgrove, while Camilla withdraws to her properties. Their time together could become more focused on official events and public obligations, rather than on emotional bonding, leading to a drift in their relationship. A subtle rift may develop, and even though there may not be an obvious argument, the gap between them could widen, causing them to lead separate lives instead of being a united couple. Ideological differences may play a role. Charles wants to update the monarchy to be more modern, which may not always match Camilla's more traditional beliefs. If they start to clash on where the monarchy should go in the future, like how big the royal family should be, how often they should appear in public, or the roles of certain members, these differences could weaken their relationship. Over time, both Charles and Camilla are dedicated to the monarchy, but if they cannot agree on its future direction, it could cause serious disagreements that harm their bond. Lastly, there is the ongoing pressure of what the public thinks. Although Camilla's reputation has gotten better over time, she still deals with a lot of attention from the media. If Charles starts to think that having her around is bad for the image of the monarchy, King and Queen arrived, following a centuries-old tradition for British monarchs, the marking of Monday, Thursday. Or if Camilla feels like she is always being held responsible for the monarchy's problems, it could put a strain on their relationship. The opinions of the public can impact personal relationships in a big way, and if the couple feels like they are not being supported by others, it could lead to problems in their marriage. Despite not being caused by shocking scandals or betrayals, these problems highlight how even a royal marriage can face challenges from mounting tensions and unexpressed frustrations. If not addressed, these minor issues could worsen over time, causing a slow emotional distance that could ultimately lead to a quiet divorce. The demands of their roles and their personal differences may weaken the bond they once had, forcing them to face a future without each other. What would become of Camilla if she were to separate from Charles? How would it impact her image and titles? Breaking royal bonds. If Queen Camilla and King Charles III were to break up or get divorced, it would have a huge impact. It would be a major crisis for the royal family and a pivotal moment for the monarchy. Camilla's future, her title, how people see her, and her everyday life would all be uncertain. From then I've just kept going, and I've got involved in a lot of literacy programs and patronages. Camilla is now more than just a king's wife. She is the official queen consort. Thanks to public acceptance over time, she is actively involved in state ceremonies, charity events, and international trips. Her name is on official invitations, and her photo is displayed in public buildings. Next to the kings, she stands by the king at national events, representing unity and power. However, if the royal couple were to split, everything she has worked for could fall apart. A royal divorce has occurred in the past, but never involving a king who is currently ruling. If Camilla and Charles were to separate, while he is still the monarch, It would be unprecedented. Buckingham Palace would have to decide if she would retain her title as queen or be urged to take on a less prominent role. Some experts think she may lose the title of queen consort and go back to being called Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall as before. The final outcome would rely on how the separation process unfolds. If Camilla and Prince Charles were to separate in a peaceful and respectful manner, she may be able to keep some of her responsibilities, such as her roles as patron of various organizations and her charity work. However, if the breakup is surrounded by controversy, with rumors of betrayal or political repercussions, Camilla may be compelled to live a more private life, away from the public eye. She could withdraw from attending public events and choose to live in seclusion at one of her personal residences, such as Mill House, which has always been her private sanctuary. Public opinion would have a big impact on deciding what happens in her future. Camilla worked hard for many years to get the British public to like her once they found out about her relationship with Charles, even though she eventually earned respect for being strong and loyal. That could all change if people start to think she's causing problems for the royal family. She could lose popularity, and the media might start focusing on her and criticizing her all the time. The royal family, who is always careful about their reputation, may decide to keep their distance from her. Important members of the royal family may stop being seen in public with her, and her name might not be included in official palace announcements. Her coat of arms could be taken off of royal documents. She may still be invited to family gatherings, but she may not be as prominently featured as before. However, Camilla will not disappear entirely. She has strong bonds with her children and grandchildren, and finding joy in her family could bring her contentment. Her affection for reading, animals, and country living could guide her to a tranquil future, free from the drama of royalty. The end of Camilla's marriage to Charles would bring an end to a significant and dramatic period in royal history. Camilla, who was once considered an outsider, had risen to become queen. If their marriage ends in divorce, her departure from the royal scene could be just as noteworthy as her ascension. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.